Uh, I've started live video, and here we are. Sun's coming down. It's not laser beaming me in the eye from that building, as you might see a yellow spot. Sun's going down. I guess Sunday we fall back. I should do it on like a Friday night or a Saturday or something like that. Oh well. I'm gonna switch now. And welcome to Taco Tuesday with the Epic Beard and Dave number 3. The third on the Tuesday series. So how is everybody? I didn't do a breakfast one last week. Have to do one this week. Maybe I should space Taco Tuesday, huh? So, got a haircut. Someone pointed out. What a day. What a day. It's a little warm and humid during the day, and yet it's nice like this at night or in the evening when the sun's going down. Gotta love that fall. There's a shout out to Jenna, I'm going to say Burns. She moved to Rochester, New York. She's a native-born Fullerton, California girl. Hello. Is that Dawn? Anyways, she's a native-born California girl, Fullerton, and she moved back east for her job to Rochester, New York. And somebody sent her a care package with some woolies, mittens, and hat, and booties and whatever. And she's saying how warm it is. And the only thing I could do was post to her that, wait till winter. You're in upstate New York. You're in the land of the midnight freeze. The midday freeze. So, what's going on? Is the bomber for real? Is it Trump's fault? Or is he a patsy and a false flag for sending our Democratic Party putting out basically real but non-functioning explosives? It's a guy that inept. How is the caravan getting where it's at so quickly? And where is it? Where is any support coming? Who organized it? How did so many people gather?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, are you?
Not too bad. How did so many people get together to do this? And of course I can see the swelling as it's coming, but I mean, how much of that is organized and staged, and or is this just a random act of mass migration? Don't know. I'm old, so I probably won't be alive long enough to find the historian that uncovers the truth. But I don't think it was long after the Second War started or ended that somebody had proof that the Germans had staged a border incident to give them credence for invading into Poland, but I don't think people stuck around much for that one for long, or buy that, the Poles shot at the Germans and Germans just rushed across the border to defend themselves from an act of aggression. But details were discovered, and Germans in Polish uniforms were sent across the border to fire upon German positions. I don't know if they hit or killed anybody, but I think of some of those German infiltrators were hurt, were killed. You know, I don't like being a false, a theory, what is it, a conspiracy theorist guy, you know. I like hard, cold facts, but on the way to discover them, or sometimes I think, you know, sometimes you have to look at it and ask yourself what the theory is, if there is a theory. You have a good night.
Huh?
Have a good night.
Same to you. Take care. Santiago.
And
La
I have
mochila.
another visitor stopping by on the phone. Hello. I can't tell who you are because it's a little dot. I don't know if it's Brad Went or what. Say something. Say something. Anyways, but sometimes it's hard not to kind of fall in that line, you know. There's logic and there's reason and there's, you know.
Hola, señor.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
How are your tacos?
Tacos were good.
Already? You eating the tacos already?
Yes, the salad came, but before I could get into my salad, I got it half prepared. The tacos came, so I always stop and eat the tacos while they're warm.
Okay.
So salad you can eat later.
So you want more chips or not?
No, I'm good. Leave the chips, but I'm good.
Alright. Okay?
I'm gonna be out of here in about 20 minutes or so anyway. So
Just relax, okay?
yeah, that's what I'm doing. So anyways, my son and I talked about this. And it seems like during certain periods we've had these school shootings. Ironic periods. And I started to think, you know, and this is before they silenced Alex Jones or whatever that crazy guy at InfoWars was, you know. By the way, it was wrong to do what they did to him. You know, freedom, whether he's a whack job or not, he still has freedom of speech. But could the school shootings be a false flag? In my sense that, well, he's saying that the government or whatever would allow kids to die, and I simply said yes, beyond the shadow of a doubt. What are the body of a few children to the end goal of accomplishing what you want? Governments and people and whatnot have done it throughout history. I don't see somebody coming up with a new trick. And so it makes you wonder. We get so many days left till the election, and all of a sudden explosives show up at people's doors and key people, some that are in a kind of a hunt for their office. And I don't know. Someday, a good historian, a good researcher, somebody will stumble across the facts and make it known that all these events were perpetrated merely for that reason, was to disrupt the presidency and change the election. You know, whether it was the Russians or the Democratic Party, and yeah, I'm going to say the Russians, because, you know, if it was the other way around, the left would be screaming. You know what's funny is they're blaming Trump for everything. It's blaming Trump for the synagogue. They're blaming Trump for for part of the migrant caravan. They're blaming Trump for what a crazy person did. And no matter what, the first thing that comes out of most of the media is it's Trump's fault. And he didn't react fast enough, and he didn't say anything fast enough, and he didn't say exactly the right thing. And now the big thing is he's a nationalist. And my son said that's the word that they choose. Well, I think no, that's the word that they have been placed upon them. And I'm meaning those whack jobs. The Klan, the neo-Nazis, and the white supremacists. It's only them. It's, because there's no way that a Black Panther would be a nationalist. And I'm struck by the fact that, when has it become such a bad thing to believe in your country and to believe in your nation? And if you say that, you're a nationalist, which automatically throws you in there with a racist, misogynist, homophobic, Islamophobic, creep, a white supremacist, That's the state of our country today. That's the state of our people. That's the state of a conversation with so many. So many. I mean, they want to change some hate crime laws, and because of the synagogue thing. And I go, to be honest with you, if you walk into a church, whether they're white, black, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and you shoot a bunch of people up, or you walk in with a bomb, you committed a hate crime, period. Of course, if you shoot the guy that's been screwing your wife or girlfriend, you've committed a hate crime, Murder and things like that, most of murder and whatever is done out of hate. Right, so, I don't know. I don't understand a lot of it. I think blaming a segment of society that's blaming a certain other group, ethnic group, based on the color of their skin, is racist. Period. No matter what color you are. When can't we become Americans again? I was watching a video, and I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Ben Shapiro or someone else, but they did bring up something that was very, very interesting, because they were talking about cultures and whatever. And it all reminded me, it was Carlson, Ben Carlson. And when do they? It leans back to Teddy Roosevelt. If you want to, and the Statue of Liberty. Bring us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, wanting to be free. To be free, you would have to eventually become an American citizen, and you must Americanize yourself, and you must immerse yourself in the American culture. And I see no problem with that. I don't see any problem with you or anyone maintaining their traditions, their native languages, and passing it down. But after you're an American, you're an American first. And by doing so, we have a unified front. And whether we disagree on many points and other things, we all agree on one thing: we are Americans. And that's what's important. Yes, black people have been treated very poorly in this country for a few years. But to be honest, on the overall look of things, black people have been treated pretty poorly around the world. And by Europeans or not, or non-Europeans. Asian people, various Asian people have been treated poorly. And in certain situations, whatever, white people have been treated very poorly in parts of the world. I don't think America, to me, was always something different because of our Constitution and a lot that was said in the Declaration of Independence and what's on the Statue of Liberty. That we're all together, we're all one group, no matter what, where we're from. From Ireland, Italy, Ethiopia, Singapore, Japan, China, whatever. We're all together. And we all have one same common cause, and that is the pursuit of happiness and the pursuit of liberty. Listening to another lecture or discussion or debate, I guess it was more, it's that college professor from Toronto, and he pointed out something that I never thought about. He goes, but the universities, he said, it's been going on since the 60s. He's not the only one that's been saying this stuff. Because with the humanities have just let down the college student in Canada and the United States, because their rigorous preaching of socialist dogma and antiism, and they should be teaching these people, one thing is how to think objectively, how to become more literate, because I think the humanities are, I believe, English is in the humanities and history is in the humanities, and to understand our past and that would look into our future, to be able to read, and to read, not just read and write, but to read some of the classic works of literature and some of the great works of literature that have shaped human beings for the last few centuries. In poetry, there's nothing wrong with learning Keats and Milton and Wordsworth and Shelley and Byron and whatnot. It's these are all good things. They're enlightening things. When he was talking about it, I was thinking about how many, because the military university, West Point for one, is one that teaches this. When you get into courses like that, they teach some of that, and then you get into the military or tactical history of the world. And I wonder how many times a general in the field or an officer in the field, because of his education there, harkened back to the Romans or the Spartans or Napoleon or Geronimo. Don't get yourself wrong. Don't get crossed up with just because of European military history. And some of those guys study the Zulus and the Apache and the Cherokee and the Sioux. Some of the best horse soldiers in the world in America were the Native Americans, the Apache from the nations, and they pale in comparison to the Mongolians. So the study of the tactics of Genghis Khan is preferable or beneficial to you as a military man, and temper it with a little Keats, a little Byron. Maybe that opens up your humanity. That's my quote for today. It was on humanity. Humility. It's not humanity, it's humility. And not just what a good characteristic, but how it aids and fills you with so many other great characteristics. Without the humility and being a humble person, many joy and the happiness, and the compassion can be found from there and expressed. Maybe that was one thing we missed in school, in even your primary education, your elementary and your secondary and your high school educations. was philosophy and a little of that to understand those things. How to be a rounder, better person. That's what we need. We need people of character. We all need to be people of fine, upstanding character. And unfortunately, I believe that many of those in higher education are people motivated by other things, by an agenda. I don't know. Anyways, Taco Tuesday. I wax poetic for the moment, and I'm just glad to be here, man. I'm glad I have a phone that allows me to get out there and say stupid stuff, you know. You know, I wish you guys would come back and comment, and even after the video has been posted and I'm off it, because I will get messages and I will read it. I can respond back to you. And the interesting thing was that I was watching another one. It was Ben Shapiro, and this guy was like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you giving these lectures? Is it to become famous?" And it's something I'm hearing, and I hear it only from the people on the right, that they are, because they were trying to open a dialogue, they're trying to talk. You can't change anything. You can't, express anything unless you talk about it, unless you openly talk about it. You know, you don't have to agree. But if you can't be civil and discuss it, nothing changes, nothing grows. Because out of our disagreement, maybe something else could appear and grow, and that more people could agree upon, and it would change our society for the better. And that's all we're trying to do. When I was younger, I always thought about, what would it be like to be a gentleman? And there are so many things. Manners is one. But it was something I actually wanted to strive for. To be a well-rounded individual. Balanced, fair, humble, and honest. And I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Too many times I've seen a movie or a television show or somebody says something, and I've heard a lot of negative stuff lately, especially about things like the Constitution and things like that in America, in this country, and it's on American television. And but in the movies, I've heard some things that have made me stop and think, and I looked some of it up. And I don't know if any of you saw the series The Kingsman, but there are things he said that some of it was something my dad even told me. Like, never shake a man's hand sitting down. Manners maketh man, which is a credo for Cambridge or Oxford or something like that in England. And that, as a gentleman, a man's name should only appear 3 times in the newspaper. When he's born, when he's married, and when he dies. And his life should be about what he did. Because that's who he should be, are the things that he did. And of course, then there was a great movie about paying it forward, and I believe in that one. Doing someone a favor for somebody, and if they do say something about, I can't what can they do? Is pay it forward, man. Just pay it forward. Take what I've done for you, and when you have the opportunity and the chance, do it for someone else. I have trouble with this one because I try and it just can't seem to get away from it. But one thing I learned is, and strive to do, is that if is to do something nice for somebody or people and not take any credit for it. Not let people know that you did it. To do it quietly and with stealth and able to do something that really made a difference in someone's life. So on that happy note, God bless you all. Please comment. Thank you for watching, those that watch. Thank you for watching those that will watch in the next few days. And as always, if you're inclined, please leave a comment or a thumbs up or whatever, or a thumbs down, a frowny face, a pile of poop. I don't care. I just like some input. Anyways, I'm gonna say finish.